So what if I told you that the iPhone's biggest feature is not on the box? It's not listed on any marketing material. It's Apple's like secret sauce that keeps you hooked and is way more powerful than any processor or camera. This is everything right with the iPhone. And some of these might remind you of why you loved it in the first place. I will, however, roast everything wrong with the iPhone, filming it actually right after this, so look for that by the time you watch this. But today, I'm giving credit where it's due. Let's start with the big one, and that's the ecosystem. And I know that ecosystem generally is overused. It sounds like corporate kind of buzzword nonsense, but hear me out. Once you are in Apple's world, everything just connects. You take a photo on your phone and boom, it's already sitting there on your Mac, or even if you have it set up your Apple Watch. Just like that, it just appears. No syncing, no waiting, no please connect to Wi-Fi type drama. Or this is one that still gets me, is awesome. A little bit magic. You're upstairs, your phone's downstairs charging, and someone calls. Your MacBook just answers it. I'm not entirely sure how that works. Or you just copy some random meme on your phone and then paste it straight into text on your iPad. No cables, no email to yourself nonsense, no apps asking for 17 different permissions. Unbelievably smooth. iMessage is part of this too, and honestly, in North America, blue bubbles are basically social currency at this point. I know that sounds ridiculous, especially to the rest of the world. But think about it. Group chats actually work. That massive video from your cousin's wedding sends instantly. Reactions don't break everything. Your college roommate, this has happened to me this week, won't stop sharing TikTok videos at 2 a.m. You can actually leave the chat without it turning into a whole thing. The ecosystem thing isn't just convenient. It is like sticky as hell. And it makes everything feel like it was designed by kind of the same brain. And kind of on that same vein, things that sort of feel a little bit like magic, I want to just appreciate AirDrop for a second. We use it all the time here. This thing is basically like teleportation for files. You want to send someone that 4K video from a concert, tap, tap, done, or just kind of bang your phones together. Need to share 47 photos from whatever last week's Hawaii vacation. Boom, they're there. Even just like whatever swapping memes at a party, it is stupid fast. Requires 0 brain cells to figure out. No hunting for cables, no what's your email, again, awkwardness. It just works. And it works so well, you forget how annoying file sharing used to be. But here's the thing, all that seamlessness sharing means nothing if your phone turns into a potato after 12 months. And this is where the iPhone, I think, really separates itself. It stays fast. Not just like, it's good enough fast, but actually like fast. 2 years, 3 years. Heck, I know people still rocking iPhone 12s that feel snappy. And that's mostly because those A series chips like doing their thing. But that's also Apple's like whole approach. Your apps don't crash every 5 minutes. Your battery doesn't become like a countdown timer, at least generally. And when you open something like heavy, you don't have to cross your fingers and pray that it's eventually gonna open. Plus, this one is, I think, huge. You get iOS updates for 5, 6 years. Day one, worldwide, no carrier nonsense. Your phone stays fresh way longer than it has any right to. And I'm not saying Android devices don't have any of these things too, but just for the sake of the iPhones, where I'm kind of keeping this scope. All right, and since I'm talking about things that just work, talk cameras. Look, so some phones, we've tested them, have crazy zoom that can spot aliens on Mars, and others have 11 billion megapixels. But for just taking like good photos, the iPhone's got this locked down. Pull out your phone, point at literally anything, and almost any light, and 99% of the time you get something you can post without spending an hour editing apps. Portrait mode makes, sometimes, at least my dogs, look like models. Night mode turns whatever sketchy alley into golden hour magic. And video stabilization, I've done this. You could probably film while doing like, I don't know, rolling around and running or cartwheels and still get footage smooth enough for like a movie trailer. And if you're a creator, if you're on Instagram or TikTok or just seem to like iPhone footage better, you know what I'm talking about. There's less fighting with the app and more just creating the things that you want, things that make your life easier. And there's a lot of it. This next one, I don't know, I thought still strikes me as kind of wild. Your phone basically becomes your entire wallet. Apple Pay is one of those features think that sounds boring and kind of like get used to it until you actually get into it. Things like groceries, coffee, whatever, airport snacks, even food trucks. You just tap your phone and you're done. And when your phone can be your wallet, your boarding pass, and your concert ticket all at once, at least to me, that is like some next level convenience. But here's where Apple, I think, gets it really right. People don't think about this often. It's hugely important. Privacy. They ain't perfect, but they've built the whole experience around it's not being creepy with your data. App tracking transparency basically lets you tell apps, like, no, you can't follow me around the internet stalker style. Siri processes stuff on your actual phone instead of sending your voice to a random server farm. Face ID uses a secure enclave that even Apple supposedly can't crack. The App Store is super strict about what gets in, which keeps most of the sketchy stuff out. You can actually use your phone without constantly wondering like what's happening in the background. And that builds into something that's, I think, hard to quantify, but super important, and that's just trust. When you pick up an iPhone, you just kind of trust that it's gonna work. It's not gonna crash when trying to book a flight. It's not gonna sort of give you 17 pop-ups about optimizing your system cache or whatever. Whether you're recording a podcast, FaceTiming, whatever, your grandma, or just trying to get through your day, it just works. And stability, I understand, is like not a sexy feature. But when your life gets chaotic, I think it's worth more generally than any flashy feature. And also, here's something Apple, I think, doesn't get enough credit for. That's accessibility. They didn't just sort of tack this on as an afterthought. It is baked into everything. And if you use it, you know. VoiceOver for people who are blind. Assistive touch for motor challenges. Sound recognition for important alerts, like live captions for video calls. It's not some separate accessibility mode. It's just part of how the iPhone works. And kind of doing research for this, I didn't realize the extent of it, but helping millions of people connect with the world in ways that weren't really possible before. And sort of also to talk about how these things just feel premium, the phones themselves. Like, they actually feel premium, not fake premium. Kind of stainless steel, or the metal they use, the way the buttons click, the glass that's apparently tougher than most people's, at least for me, my gym commitment. It's not just about feeling fancy. iPhones also generally hold their value pretty well too. 2 years down the line, you can still get real money for your old one, and that is rare in tech. So plus, this one is underrated. The support ecosystem is insane. Walk into literally any store, airport, gas station, random convenience store, and there is iPhone stuff everywhere. Cases, chargers, weird mounts you didn't know you needed. There's basically a global economy built around making sure your iPhone can accessorize better than most of the people on TikTok. And when something actually breaks, Apple stores, Genius Bar, real humans you can walk and talk to can actually fix your problem without making you feel like a dummy. No phone trees, no hold for the next available representative, purgatory. Just walk in, explain the thing, and walk out with a solution. Generally not having to send it to somewhere else. And look, at the end of the day, the iPhone keeps winning, not because it has every feature under the sun, because it feels effortless. That smooth swipe home, Face ID that unlocks before you even realize you're looking at it. The way iMessage bubbles sort of just work and iMessage generally comes together. The magic is not in the specs. It's in how it all fits together so smoothly that you stop thinking about it. And I think like that's the real test. When technology works so well, you forget that it's there. When your phone becomes an extension of what sort of you want to do, not an obstacle to what you want to do. And the iPhone is not perfect. Got a whole other video talking about that stuff. It's expensive as hell. It's stubborn about weird stuff. And sometimes Apple acts like they're doing you a favor by letting you buy their products. Here's the thing. Millions of us keep choosing to use it anyway, because at some point you realize it's not about having the most features or the biggest numbers on a spec sheet. It's about trust. It's about knowing that when you need your phone to work, like really work, it just will. Whether you're capturing your kid's baseball game, their first steps, closing a deal on a work call, or just trying to get through your day without technology fighting you. And that's what Apple figured out that a lot of other companies are still chasing. They didn't just build a phone. They built something that fits into your life so seamlessly that switching kind of feels like giving up a superpower. So now that I have covered everything that the iPhone does right, again, stick around, because next video, I'm gonna tear it a new one and tell you everything Apple needs to fix. And there is a lot to talk about there, because loving something does not mean you can't call it its flaws, right? So that video might be up by the time you watch this. I don't know, I'll link it down below. But in the meantime, hit that like button if it reminded you why you fell in love with your iPhone in the first place. Let me know your favorite feature. Maybe I didn't mention something you love about the iPhone in the comments. I'm kind of curious sort of what hooked you or even why you left the iPhone. You know, and again, subscribe, I'd appreciate it. Next one though, is gonna be spicy, I promise you.